Hey guys, welcome back to 44's channel. If this is the first time you've been here and seen me, hello, my name is Jess. I'm a life coach and I make videos on topics within personal development. So currently I am busy with the series Think and Grow Rich, but this video that I'm making now isn't part of that series. It's just a random video I felt like making. Because it was something that I learned last year and I've just been thinking about it recently. I was thinking of filming it, I actually planned it, and then I noticed that it was coming up in people's lives around me, so it does feel like it's something relevant and something that other people experience. So yeah, I just decided to make a video on this particular thing, but I just want to let you know that I am still busy with the Think and Grow Rich series and I haven't abandoned it. I will finish it. So the thing I wanted to talk about in this video is basically just intention and how your intention is more important than other people's perception of your intention, and how other people's perceptions of your intention can be extremely controlling and it can completely take away your authenticity. Okay, well now it's decided to start raining. So if you can hear the rain in the background, I love the rain. So maybe it will make you happy like the rain makes me. But yeah, that's the sound in the background. I swear as soon as I started filming, it didn't look like it was gonna rain. And now suddenly it's raining. What I find quite funny is that when I was in first year, so about 5 years ago, this was a theme that I was exploring and something that I was working out. And I think it was like because I would be so scared to go out in public and it would be like, what are other people thinking of me? And then finally I just reached a stage where I was like, I don't care what other people are thinking of me. It's so controlling. So it's funny because I realized that then, but then I still realized that last year. And that's what I think happens with life. You don't just explore a theme and then move on and that's the end of it. You can come back to it and see it in a deeper light. And I feel like there's layers to things. So it's like, because it's funny, I even remember making a video on how to stop caring. And I completely agreed with what I was saying then. I felt that stuff that I was saying. And even when I would rewatch it and it would be inspirational to me. But then it's funny because I wasn't completely like, yay, how did Red, I was still caring, even though I made a video on that. But I did still feel like I wasn't caring as much. So I'm just saying that life is just this development type of thing, and it takes years and years and years in order to change your habits and change your way of thinking. But anyway, just to give you some background on the whole situation, and I have noticed it suddenly stopped raining, so that's that's good. But just to give you some background, so I feel like in life I have been a bit of a people pleaser. So and I think I feel like I'm good at reading people's behavior and then acting in a way that doesn't upset them, or always trying to be the better person and not upset people, keep the peace. I'm a very keep the peace. I don't really like conflict that much. So that's the type of person I've been. And I have spoken about this before, but something that was happening to me was that there would be people in my head. So you know how not everyone actually, I know some people don't have it, but most people have that voice in their head. So the little voice that speaks to you all day and it can tell you good things about yourself, bad things about yourself. It can just be a narration of life. So there was that voice inside my head, and then there were other voices, and it was other people and scenarios that I would invent in my head. So example, if I was hanging out with one of my friends, then their voice would be in my head and then I would make up what I felt like they were saying. So all my friends, acquaintances, everyone would be in my head and there'd be a real version outside. It sounds so wacky when I'm talking about it. It's not it's not as wacky as it sounds. I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of people do this. But it was there's people outside and them, and then my perception of them is basically what I'm saying. So I met them in real life, and then they would be in my head, and then I would like create arguments with the people, or if I had a conversation with that person, then I would replay it in my mind, except they would have different script, I would say different stuff. And what was getting really ridiculous about this was that stuff wouldn't even be happening, but my brain was making it seem like it was so much worse than it was, because I was making up stuff. So if in real life my friend was a bit off, then I would replay that situation, and they would be 10 times as off. They would be mean, they would say something horrible to me, and then I've like replayed this in my mind. And I did for the video I posted, I think 2 weeks ago, on auto suggestion. I speak a lot about this and how that can be quite damaging, because your mind doesn't know the difference between what really happens and what you're telling yourself. So if you've experienced something once, but you've replayed that situation 200 times in 200 different variations, then your brain is going to think that you've experienced all of that stuff, the real thing, plus the 200 different times. Your subconscious thinks you've actually experienced it. So that can be damaging, because stuff isn't happening, but you're telling yourself it's happening, and then you're getting a bad emotion, you're getting upset. So anyway, this was something that I was doing a lot, and it was funny because when it was happening, and it does still happen, I feel like I'm better at managing it now, but when it was happening, I thought it was other people who were being mean to me. So I'd be like, other people are thinking this, especially because I think I'm quite good at reading people's body language and reading their intentions. So I'd be like, oh, that person thinks this about me, that person thinks this about me, based off their behavior. And then I was like, I thought that it was them because they were thinking that stuff. But then I realized that it's not them, it's me, because I'm the one who's making those images up in my head. So it's not like they are saying that to me, it's me having a perception on someone and saying, oh, they don't like me, they think this about me, they were annoyed when I did this, oh, they aren't replying, therefore they're cross with me, and I did something wrong. And it's like, that's not, I mean, it could be the case, but it was just having so much control over me, and I just realized it was my own thoughts and me who was creating that. And also what was funny about the whole situation was that I had a really good, and I do still have, but like during this particular time, like I had a good view on myself. So I really liked myself, I liked what I was doing, but it always felt like other people didn't like what I was doing. So it was like my own voice would be like, yes, I like what you're doing, I like myself, but then I'd be like, other people in my head would be like, no, we don't like you, or you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong, you're breaking the law, you're doing, well, not like breaking the law, but I mean like you're going too out of the box. And then I was like, oh, other people, but actually it was me, because I was making up those voices and I was giving them a script. So anyway, so that was kind of the situation. That's what it's been like for super long. I've been like that a lot in the past, and as I say, like, this is something that you don't just quickly get over it. And I was like, I don't care about people's opinions, because even though I've had this realization, I do know that I do still care about people's opinions, definitely on a subconscious level, but I'm more aware, and I feel like I'm better than I was last year. So as I say, it's like a growing thing. So the turning points in all of this, and all this people-pleasing thing and caring about other opinions so much, happened last year. So part of the turning point was that there was this person in my life, and they were like micro-analyzing me a lot, and they were doing what I was doing. So I was looking at other people, and I was saying, they think this because they did this, they said this, therefore they think this. And I, like how, I don't know if you do it as well, but I was like being like, they did this, so therefore they mean this. So I was doing that a lot. Now this person was doing that a lot to me, except their conclusions were very much inaccurate. So they were coming up with all this stuff about how I was manipulative, and you can hear the rain in the background. but they said like I was manipulative, and basically somewhere along that line how like just wanted power. Like I was trying to steal all the power, and I was manipulative. And then I was like, Okay, that was 100% not true. You know when somebody just says something about you and it's like, it's not even remotely true, like you 100% know that your intentions aren't that. Like my intentions have never been power, no, like I'm just not a power person. Like yes, I want success and ambition, but I don't want that at the expense of others. So and I knew that 100% about myself. So this person was micro-analyzing me and saying like, you said this, therefore this, and your intentions were that. I mean, your behavior was this, therefore your intentions were that. And then I was just like, nah. And then I remember getting super angry. I was just like so angry because I'd been like accused of something that I wasn't. And like usually I was like super chilled, but I remember after that I was just like so angry that this person had said this stuff about me. So anyway, that was part of the turning point, and it had me thinking, and I was busy thinking, and then I went for coaching, not on this particular thing, but I just went for coaching to see what it was like and everything, and then I ended up doing a coaching course, and then I remember in the coaching course, so I did the coaching course with this man called Andre Retief. I'll put his information in the description box, because he gives coaching courses, so if you want to become a coach, definitely go to him. So, and he also gives NLP courses. So anyway, like it was during the coaching training, and then we were talking about, for some reason, intention, and then he was saying that everybody has good intentions, and it just doesn't look good because sometimes it doesn't look good because you don't hold the same values as them and you don't have the same reality as them. So anyway, we were just talking about intentions, and I think just because of that, I suddenly realized that I was focusing more attention on people's perceptions of me and people's perceptions of my intention rather than my actual intention. And just leading back to the previous thing that happened, when this person was saying like, you're power hungry, you're manipulative and stuff, I didn't believe that, but then I started behaving in a way that made me less guilty. So just to give you a story illustrating what this means, so imagine there's a bird and a pig, and the bird lives on top of this massive tree, and one day it comes down and it says to the pig, you stole my egg that was in my nest, you've stolen it, you're a horrible person, you're a thief, you're just a terrible person, you should, like, they're just like saying all this stuff to the pig. But the pig knows that it didn't steal the egg, it knows that it doesn't have that intention, it wouldn't want to eat that, even though I know like pigs do eat everything, but this particular pig doesn't eat eggs. And also pigs can't fly, and I don't think they can't climb trees. So how exactly did the pig do that? So the evidence is actually like, no, they didn't, but this bird believes that they did do it because of stuff in the past and all of this. But then what ends up happening is that even though the pig knows that he didn't steal the egg and he didn't fly up there and it couldn't be possible, the pig knows that the bird has that perception of him. And so the pig ends up changing its behavior to make itself seem less guilty. So in a conversation example, if people are talking about their favorite superheroes and how they all want to fly, the pig will not want to talk or contribute, and it will just avoid all conversation about flying. So now this pig's not talking about flying anymore, because as soon as they start talking about flying, then people can start looking at him and being like, oh, so if you have an interest in flying, therefore you would have you the one who stole the bird's thing. And then the pig could also decide, okay, I'm not going to hang around, even though maybe the pig did a daily walk past that tree. Now the pig's like, okay, I'm not going to walk past the tree anymore, because if I walk past, then the bird can be like, like you're standing down there, you are plotting to steal another one of my eggs. Yeah, so we can see like the pig is completely changing its behavior in order to not seem guilty. They're changing their interests. If somebody was talking about, oh, would you like to come on an aeroplane with me? I'm going where, blah de blah. The pig would just be like, no, like I can't do airplanes, I can't do helicopters, because as soon as I associate myself with this stuff, then the bird's gonna, it's giving the bird more evidence. So that's what was happening to me. This person thought that I was manipulative and power hungry and that, and I didn't believe that. But then I started micro-analyzing the way I was interacting with the person. So when I spoke, I would be like, okay, choose my words carefully, don't say this, because if you say this, then she's going to interpret it as this. If you say this, she's going to interpret it as this. And yeah, like, I don't know, it just was like, I don't know if I was like exactly conscious of it, or I didn't realize, I was just like doing it. I was just like micro-analyzing myself. And then after we had this intention conversation, or when I had it with Andre, I just suddenly realized that it's like I'm innocent, to put it that way. Like I'm like the pig. The pig didn't do anything. So if the pig isn't innocent, why does the pig, I mean, if the pig is innocent, why does the pig have to completely change their life, their behavior, micro-analyze themselves, make themselves unhappy, just to prove to this bird that they didn't do it, when in fact the bird is actually in the wrong and is just making up rubbish that's happening? And like that just was like such a realization for me, because I was like, the thing is like when you, even though you don't believe that you're guilty, you're still acting in a way that is as if you're guilty, because it's like, oh, I'm guilty, so like, let me do these things to seem less guilty. But the thing is you're not guilty, you're innocent of whatever these people are saying about you. So after that, I just realized, like, I want to focus more on my own intention, and if my intentions are good. Ultimately, the only people who know what their intentions are the people with the intentions. You're the only one who knows what your intention is. I'm the only one who knows what my intention is. And so if I know what the intention is, I need to be focusing on that and feeling good about that and just going on with it, as opposed to being like, this person thinks this, so therefore I have to change this. This person thinks this, so therefore I have to change it. And I can't be talking about flying things anymore. I can't be talking about superheroes. I can't be talking about this. In reality, it should be like, well, with the pig thing, I didn't fly up and steal your egg, so cool for you if you think that, but I still want to talk about superheroes and flying, and cool, I'm going to take that helicopter course because I didn't do it. So yeah, that was just a big realization I made, was just this complete focus on other people's perceptions, and like other people's perceptions of my intention, and feeling bad and feeling rubbish, when in reality, like, there was no reason for me to feel rubbish. And it's also a good thing to realize that your perceptions of people aren't necessarily correct. Like, you could be like, you have bad intentions, but you don't know. Only that person knows if they have bad intentions, and maybe they don't. I mean, that's what like Andre always says, is that all people have good intentions, but it's just according to their values. And also I feel like people can start seeing things and reading into people, especially if they've gone through trauma. For example, if somebody's cheated on them or lied to them and manipulated them in the past. So like that makes sense. Like sometimes if you've been manipulated in the past and you don't trust people, then you're gonna start, you don't trust other people, and you're gonna like analyze every little thing they do, which like it completely makes sense. It's natural. It's something that takes ages to get over, and it's something that you can deal with by speaking about it and going to things like counseling, coaching, therapy. I definitely think if you're going through that, you should go to someone. But I think just linking to all of this, it's like, stop, like I'm saying from the other side, stop letting people control you so much. Like if people have trauma and stuff, they should go deal with it with a professional. This is my opinion. Go deal with it with a professional, and stop coming to other people and making them fix you and stuff. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm just saying, like deal with your own stuff and stop like bringing it into, like giving it to other people. And now like Like, you've gone through this trauma and now you're accusing every other person of being manipulative and being someone who's not trustworthy, when that's not the situation. You're just reading it incorrectly because of the stuff you've been through in the past. Like, sorry if that sounds harsh, but that's just my opinion, and because I've been on the other side, where it's like, this person's been through trauma, now they're saying this stuff about me, and I understand that, but it's like, you can't like be with somebody who's constantly thinking you're manipulative and horrible. Like, that's their own stuff, they need to deal with somewhere else. And I mean, if you are manipulative and horrible, like, definitely look into that. And I mean, I don't think it's very good to be manipulative. So if you genuinely do have bad intentions, like, that's a different story. But I'm talking more like when somebody is being trusting and now they can't, but they're still getting accused of not being trusting. Like, that's where the problem comes in. So anyway, after all of this happened, I had this whole realization. That's when I suddenly realized that opinions don't actually have any sort of significance. And like, I know usually people say, like, don't listen to bad opinions on yourself. Like, don't listen to the mean things people are saying. Just ignore the mean things. But I think what we're forgetting is that it's like a good opinion is the same as a bad opinion. They're just different degrees of the same thing. They're both opinions. And so if you're going to be dependent on the good opinions, it means that you're going to be dependent on the bad opinions too. So you can't just be like, I'm not going to care about bad opinions, and then think that it's okay if I'm only going to care about the good opinions. I don't know if that makes sense. Basically what I'm saying is that I realized is that I don't want to be dependent on other people's opinions, whether they're good or bad, because the only one who knows my intentions and knows my worth and knows what I'm capable of is me. If somebody says to me, oh Jess, you aren't going to make it in life, you're this like quiet little person, that is actually what I got told in the past, but like, I'm a quiet little person and I won't amount to anything. So if I agreed with that, I mean, I'm saying like they could think that and they're wrong, because ultimately I'm the one who decides whether I'm going to be this quiet person and not amount to anything. Like, I can decide not to be like that. But then in the same respect, someone could say to me, oh Jess, you're the most brilliant speaker, you're going to make it in life, you're going to make tons of money, and this. And still they don't have power over my actions. They don't have power over if that happens or not. The only one who has power over if it happens or not is me. And yeah, like, obviously it's nice when people come and give us compliments and say good things about ourselves, and like, I always try to do that and try to uplift people. I think that is important. But like, I've just got to the stage where I'm not going to be, and I mean, it's, as I say, it's like something I'm working on, because I do still like care. It's not something I just have like neglected, but I want to get to the stage where I appreciate people's comments, but it doesn't control me, and I'm ultimately the one who has the most power over my life and my decisions. And that's where internal and external validation comes in. So internal validation is the validation you give yourself. So it's your own beliefs, it's your own self-worth, it's the stuff that you're telling yourself. So you telling yourself, I can do it, I'm capable of this, I'm smart, I'm intelligent, I'm good enough, I'm worthy. It's the stuff you're feeding to yourself, and that honestly is the only thing you have control over. External validation is the validation that people around you are giving you. So like, oh, you're good enough, Jess, you're this, you're that, we are wonderful, we loved your video, yay Jess, you're so creative. So it's external validation. And while that's super great, I can't control external validation. And I think it's like, you can get like bad validation and good validation depending on who it is. Like, it's something that's just, you can't control. And the thing is that external validation, it's not accurate, because those people, it's just a perception of you. The only person who knows you and knows your intentions is you. So don't allow yourself to become less because these other people around you are saying, you're manipulative, you're not good, you're not smart, you're not whatever, because like, so what? Or even if people are like, you're fantastic, you're wonderful, you're marvelous, so what if you're not actually going to do anything with those abilities? It's like it's you who has to get yourself out of bed every day. It's you are the one who has to reach your goals and take the action. No one else can do that for you. You have to make the choice. And therefore, I think it's important that you validate yourself. You stop waiting for other people to say, yay, well done, or you did it, or like you need to say that to yourself ultimately. So anyway, that's just the random video I decided to make. As I said, it's something that last year I was like, whoa. You know, when you just realize something and it's like, whoa. Like I just had that like, whoa, this makes so much sense. Because I'd also had like, oh, what are the people at school thinking? It was very much linked to this as well. I was like, what are the people at school thinking, at high school? Like, they have this reputation of me, and if I start doing like videos and stuff, they're gonna think this. Like, that's literally what I was thinking. And then I was just like, you know what, so what? Like, why am I giving so much attention, so much energy? Why am I giving so much power to people from my past? And then leading from that, why am I giving so much power to anyone except me on you know, on like my worth and what I'm allowed to do? So yeah, anyway, I just decided to make that video because I went through that, and as I said, I had been speaking to some other people, and they'd also, like, I can see that there is a lot of people who rely on external validation, and like still it's something that I'm working on. And so I decided maybe if I make this video, something in here will, I don't know, trigger something in you. I do always think that it's best that you don't just listen to stuff, you reflect on stuff too, because it's in the reflection stage where you actually learn. Because sometimes I feel like when I talk, even like if I've made a realization and then I try to describe it, it seems so 2D, and it seems so like cliche, like I've heard it before. So when I give a summary of what I've gone through, I'm like, I've heard this before, but it doesn't feel like I've heard it before in my mind. Like, it's so much more complex when you actually just reflect and have your own realization. So yeah, definitely reflect on everything I say, see if you agree with it. If you don't agree with it, that's where the greatest learning takes place. So thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next week with a new video, and I'll be continuing with the Think and Grow Rich series. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and if you like seeing my videos and would like to see more, please hit subscribe down below, which is in red, and then hit that bell next to it in order to get notifications. And then please comment down below what your opinions are, what you think of all of this, if any of this resonated with you, and then share this with anyone you think would enjoy watching this video. Thanks guys for watching. I'll see you next week. Bye guys!